introduce yourself.
Okay, good afternoon. My name is Crystal Sanders.
I'm Taylor Solomon, and we're both education teachers.
Outstanding.
Go pass this one. Oh, John, your turn. Go ahead, John.
Hell no.
Come on. If you with them.
Next slide, please. My name is Taylor, and I went to First Coast High School. During this, I do not want to put down my high school. I was very proud to go to First Coast, but during my 4 years there, we did have some problems. We had, you could only have a certain amount of printing, and it was never enough for it to go around. If you didn't go and get your textbooks in the beginning, you didn't have textbooks. They never ordered more. There was never enough for everybody to go.
To add to Taylor, basically we did an article over Michelle Obama and why education is important, because a lot of people think, oh, well, I'm in this neck of the woods or this area, and we have money for textbooks, and sometimes that's not the case. But to add back to what Michelle Obama was saying is the lower income area that you stay in, rather is where high school you go to. As Taylor with the First Coast, but my high school was a little different because I stay in Tampa, so I could have had money for textbooks. She didn't, but we don't have no technology. We barely have printers, anything like that. So trying to learn was a different aspect rather than what it is up here in Duval County. Also, to add to that is another thing Michelle Obama pointed out was just because you think you're not ready to go to school or you don't want to go to school, just continue to go to grow further in education rather than just middle school, high school, whatever the case may be, because you never know where your future can lead you. And also, she was talking about violence, because violence is taking over how education, how we learn today, taking back to Trayvon Martin and Michael Brown, and how that actually affected their future because of their age brackets. You're talking about 16, 17-year-olds that's barely, none of them are graduating, going on to college to pursue their dreams or their future. So to me, that's why education is more important, because of the educational background that you actually come from, because some people could barely even finish middle school and high school.
Obama, if y'all have heard, Obama is trying to create a plan where you go to school, your first 2 years in community college will be paid for, and it's not just for children, it's for anybody. This will help us further and help us get ahead, not only in our household, but also as a country as a whole, so because we're not number one in a lot of things anymore. So with this, it helps, and it will save $3,800 per year for a full-time student. The importance of an HBCU, this is going back to our, Edward Waters was founded in 1866, and because of Edward Waters, it helped newly freed slaves get an education to better their lives and their families. It helps it helps upper and middle class African Americans stay ahead, and because of HBCUs, a lot of us, that's the reason we're in college right now, because this is our last option, or because we wanted to stay rooted in our background.
Now freeze it right there. Now you made a valid point, because a lot of people don't understand that when HBCUs were established, that was the main reason to teach them a skill. And a lot of people don't want to admit that when kids go to HBCUs, that is their last option. When I went to college, I went to South Carolina State University. I had two options, either the military or find a job. And the only reason I got to go because I got a track scholarship. So I did not have the grades, and my mom was a teacher. Well, my mom was a teacher. She was a high school teacher. So I still didn't have the grades because I didn't take my education seriously. I was playing around all the time, and then by the time I was ready to graduate high school, it was like, oh, I screwed up. But I was lucky enough to get a track scholarship. I got recruited by University of Florida. I got recruited by University of Georgia. I got recruited by Virginia Tech and some Ivy League schools, but I couldn't go because my grades were bad. My SAT scores combined were 850. Combined, math and reading, because I didn't take it serious. So a lot of times when kids go to HBCUs, that is their last option. And I shouldn't say kids because there's like a lot of adults that go because they are admitted and they're mature enough to say, hey, I can do the schoolwork and then get your degree. The bad part about it is, and I always use Duval County as an example, EWC has a bad reputation because there's too many teachers that graduated from EWC but still don't have the skills to teach effectively in the classroom. Now, the last school I was at, Andrew Robinson Elementary, they have 4 teachers from Everett Woods College. 3 of them during the course, I was there for like 10 years. 3 of them during those courses of those 10 years were teachers of the years. And at first the principal didn't want them, but they turned out to be good teachers. So that's why I say when y'all doing all of this stuff, you set yourself up for success, but then it also comes with the attitude. If you got a bad attitude, anybody going to want to hire you? You have to set the standard and the foundation. I didn't get myself together to my sophomore year of college because I realized, well, if I don't have my degree, I'm going to have to go in the military, and I ain't going to do that. So, that's the valid point that you make. And a lot of people still say that HBCUs aren't viable, they aren't important. And the only reason that they say that is because they don't want to be bothered with the people that struggle through high school, but they still have dreams and aspirations. They don't want to be bothered with that. It's like, okay, you go to the University of Florida, and you reading on a 12th grade level, but you in college or 11th grade. They're not going to give you tutorial services. They're going to say, you keep up or you get out. HBCU, they'll give you a tutor. Because I didn't know in that room across all, they have reading tutors and math tutors, because the instructor down the hall told me they did it. Okay, other universities, they're not going to put that money out there to do that. FAMU has a great tutorial. So that freshman year when you go there and you take that test, if you score below a certain level, they're going to throw you in a remedial class. Not because they're thinking or saying that you're slow, but because they want you to be successful. And these big colleges won't do that, so I'm glad y'all brought that up.
And this is the statistic of the 80 HBCUs, and 69 of them were nationally ranked.
Right.
Only 11 were. Now, I didn't check it every water for
Okay.
I didn't, I'm going to be honest, but I did.
Okay.
Okay, that's it.
Very good. Good job.